Alright everybody, and welcome. In today's video, we got something very nice. This came out of the blue, and I was not really ready for it, but I'm happy I saw it. So, we got some new information about the next DLC, Graveyard of Empires. We now have a release date, which is March 4th, which, at the day of recording, this is February 10th, I believe? Yes, February 10th. So, we only got a few weeks away. We also got some other good news, if we let it go to the next slide. Here we go. We got a list of when the dev diaries and everything will be going on up until the release. So, the first dev diary will be starting tomorrow, so I will be covering that tomorrow. We have the Historic Raj, the Democratic branch, tomorrow. Then on the 13th, we got the Alt History Raj. Then there's a stream and a video, respectively. I will check in on the video. And if there's anything important from the stream, if there's anything like I can see that'll be added to these that's not really covered, I'll see if it's worth making a video. Then we move over to Afghanistan and Iraq on the 18th. Then we got a dev dive for Iran, historical. And then it doesn't look like we have a... oh, we do have historical in opposition. So down here on we have a stream and a video with Afghanistan and Iraq. Then a video for Iran opposition. AMA, I'm not sure what that stands for off the top of my head with the devs. I guess it's like an ask thing. A dev diary for arts and achievements. Then a stream for historical and opposition Iran. And then a video for historical and opposition. And then the release on March 4th. Now that's interesting. Like historical and opposition and historical imperial. I guess that means that like the historical branch and the imperial branch are tied together. And then the historical also ties in with the opposition. Not sure how that's going to really work out, but hopefully it's interesting. I mean, we'll see what they do with that. We got a few other things too. So moving over, we got a list from, this is taken from the Steam page for the Graveyard of Empires, little descriptions. With Iran, it's a potential great power hemmed in by the pressures of the Soviet Union and the British Empire. A significant new focus tree allows the player to resist the imperial incursions that historically weakened Iran, as well as offering potential for a revived and modern Persian Empire in the heart of Asia. We all assumed this was probably coming, a Persian Empire path. It makes sense. We are HOI4 players. We like map painting. Persian Empire makes a lot of sense. Moving over, we got India. The Raj is the jewel of the British Empire, rich and strategically vital. However, a growing independence movement threatens to disrupt the war effort and dissolve the empire. A large focus tree focused on the struggle of Indian independence offers many alternate historical paths, including the revival of the East India Company as a corporate nation, as well as the possible freedom of the princely states and restoration of the Mughal Empire, and more. Which we speculated the Mughal Empire was going to get something in my HOI4 Graveyard of Empires prediction video. So I mean, it was a pretty easy guess to make, to be honest, but I am glad it made it in, so we actually can get something with that. Then we got Iraq, with take control of this British client state and try to chart your own path, embracing the cause for pan-Arab nationalism and siding with the Axis against the Allies. Manage the many competing ethnic and religious fractions in Iraq and develop the strategically important oil fields. So with this, we got pan-Arab nationalism, so probably a rework to how the Arabian Farm Bill will work, at least in relation to Iraq. I also was right with it now being a British client state, so that is definitely going to change how it is. It is going to... I don't know if they're going to make it a new type of puppet, kind of like how they did with the European Union puppet style, where they'll give them a different style, like a different style of puppet to Britain. If they're going to do more with that or not, we'll have to see how that works out. But it will be a British client state of some kind, however they want to work that out. And then with Afghanistan, we got the historic Graveyard of Empires, isolated from the wider war, offers many alternative paths, continue the historical path of neutrality and isolation. Probably going to be boring as hell, but it's a historical path. What you going to do? Or choose the road of rapid industrialization and building a new power in the mountains of Central Asia. This one could really go anywhere, just because Afghanistan didn't have anything to do with the war, so, and this doesn't really give any more context to what they're going to do, so it can be anywhere. But we see kind of what they're thinking with Iraq, with it being the British client state and the oil and the pan-Arab nationalism and stuff like that, which all makes sense. That was probably how Iraq was going to go. With India, It's good that we see that they got multiple different things they have planned for it. And Iran with the Persian Empire makes sense. We also, it's slightly different, so why I threw this in here. This is taken from the, so the first image was taken from the Steam page on the Graveyard of Empires. This was taken from like the news, like if you click on your game and then like look through like the posts. And the reason I brought this up is because in here they have the formation of Pakistan and Bangladesh as like its own thing you can do that they didn't have in that. Pretty much everything else is about the same with a little bit less information. But I threw it in just because like Pakistan and Bangladesh is something you can form now. Like that'll probably be some kind of path. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but it is there. Then we got a few more images they've added. We got some new art with elephant soldiers and trains, and you got is that the Taj Mahal? I think that's how that's called, and I think that's what it is. So India's probably going to get its own what are they called? Landmark, which will be cool. I'm not sure if these are like different kind of factories or if it's just 3D models. Looks pretty nice all together. Can't complain. Then we get into actually some really cool stuff over here. So we get a little snippet of the focus tree. So this is a little part of the Iranian focus tree. So we got modernizing Iran, which moves into literacy, museum, funding different universities. We also got some like placeholder stuff. The art's not completely finished. So this is like your research branches probably. The Tehran, not a great quality image, but an Iranian railway. So this is all about improving infrastructure and railways. Trains from Britain or from Germany, and then passenger. So it looks like trains and like logistics is going to be a decent part of this little section. Then we got kickstart the White Revolution, strengthen the National Bank of Iran, price stabilization, abolish feudalism, extend the vote to women, and food for every Iranian. So little economy branch. This will probably give like consumer good factor and like stuff like that. So that'll be probably good. Rapid industrialization, open the power plant in Tehran, develop the major settlements, a metropolitan Iran, develop the oil fields, form our oil company, and then you got declare yourself an oil baron or profit from the war. So again, this was building up industry. This is going to probably be factories, building up resources. These will probably be like upgrading your states. They might have like rural state modifiers. This might improve them, or it might just give you a bonus. Who knows? Then you got this interesting with oil baron versus profit from the war. That could be an interesting choice. We also got a slight little tab on the military. We have expand the Imperial Guard. Looks like a tank icon with refurbished foreign, so that might be getting tanks. Establish Tehran some kind of MIO or just military factories, and this one will probably give more military factories. Sneaking over down here, we have secure French West Asia, which is interesting, and then path through Iraq. So there's a Iraq war goal, or at least a demand of submission. We can't really see what this one is, and this is something with, it looks like it's one of the old Persian leaders. So this might be part of the Persian path, because I believe that might be a old Persian leader. Cambyses, yeah, I mean that sounds Persian, so that's probably part of the Persian path. I'm not sure. But secure French West Asia is interesting because, as far as I'm aware, that would be like Indochina, wouldn't it? Like France doesn't. I mean, they control a little state in India, but they don't really control much besides like the islands out in the Pacific. So maybe it's like Tahiti and stuff. That's an interesting one. I'm actually really interested to see what that one does. And then we have this one, which this is from the British Raj focus tree. So with this one, we have the conquerors of Persia through the Wakhan corridor and the true Mongols. Something princes. So this is with the princes. Something with, it looks like a federation. And then something of the ages. So this is going to be an interesting part. We have arrest Congress leaders. So that's probably against the Congress, like the Indian National Congress. This is like a private military, goes into like the naval part of the tree. Then we have circumvent restrictions, manipulate army statistics, open up to new markets. Like this is all, it looks like research and like consumer goods. productivity mandate versus in night shifts and then mass production. So probably buffs to like your efficiency gain and efficiency cap, stuff like that. And over here we have final investments into the princely states. So that will there's probably going to be a princely state modifier that this will improve. Then we have hostile takeover, vertical integration. This is all looks like it's all economics. Death nailed to the Raj. Just good business. Crush the anathema. Then nothing personal and rebranding. So this looks like this is probably a breakaway path of some sort. It might be accessible to multiple different paths. I'm not sure. Then we have the third opium war and deforestation. Interestingly, this is a very different path. Like, this is a very different layout for the old tree, to be honest. Like, I don't recognize any of these focuses, so this is all completely new. We'll have to see how much they keep of the old tree, because we saw with the Hungary rework that they kept a lot of the like how the kind of tree was structured, but with the British tree, it's so old, it doesn't really have much of a structure. There's so much not going on with it. So I'm not really sure what they'll do with that, but how much they'll keep of it, or how much it'll just be completely redone as if it was a nation just getting a new focus tree. So we'll have to see with that. But I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to the dev diaries. We'll see those tomorrow. So I'll have a video out for that. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.